Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Wintermute Redux with the Gazbeard in the cave at the top of Hat Creek with the Aurora outside. Last week we went into the Aurora hatch and looted it, and it's coming up to sunrise. We are fairly tired but not exhausted, so what I want to do is I want to lose some of the weight we're carrying. We're seriously overloaded. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put down that spare bedroll that we just found. I'm going to try and get it on the floor here. There we go. That'll do. And I'm then also going to make sure that the lantern is 100% full. Lamp already full. Excellent. And I will then drop that jerry can of fuel here. And where's it gone? There it is. Oops, that's sinking into the ground there. If I put it there... No, I want it on the other side of the bedroll. That looks... Yeah, there it is. Right. So that will have dropped our weight a little bit. We're down to 53 kilos. And I'm then going to get a... Well, in fact, what I'm going to do first, I'm going to switch off the torch because it's got a bit of power in it. I'm then going to sleep for 4 hours. I did look at how much food and water we had in us before we slept, so that we don't dehydrate and die during our sleep. There's a bit of light coming in the cave from somewhere. Must be up there. We can see the bedroll and the jerry can. I'm going to leave them there. The torch drained. I could have left it on. I'm going to leave those there. The reason for that is this is the spare bedroll that we found in the Aurora hatch in the prepper's cache, bunker, whatever. It's in worse condition than our own. I'm going to leave it there, set out, because if it deteriorates to 0% condition before we get back, if it's laid out on the floor like that, we can still use it as a bedroll and sleep in it. But if it's rolled up, so if I was to pick it up and drop it, and it would show as a rolled up bedroll, then if it gets to 0% condition, we've lost it, we can't use it, we can't do anything with it except harvest it for cloth. Whereas leaving it like that means it can be used as a bed if we come back. So let's get a torch out and get it lit. And let's press on through the cave and out the other side. We're still very heavy. We could probably do with eating and drinking, actually. In fact, might just quickly do that, just to take a bit of weight off us. Eat the wolf. The wolf is the lowest calories per kilo, so eat that to remove the weight. Take a drink. Okay, I'd like to pick up a couple of bits of coal if we find any, but I seriously doubt we will. I'm not seeing any on the floor, and we're still very slow. I could have dropped more things there, but this end of the cave is not our normal camping spot. Our normal camping spot is at the other end of the cave, although in Wintermute it's pretty much a moot point because it's very unlikely that you're going to come back here after your third trip into the muskeg. And if you remember, our first trip was to get to the railway engineering sheds in Broken Railroad and up to the hunting lodge to find try and find another rifle, which was not there. But we did find ammunition and some other goodies, which was good. But we also got the bear spear there, which is the prime reason that we went there. And then we reforged the bear spear in the engineering sheds and went back to Jeremiah, who then gave us the task of going back into the muskeg to get the radio components from the various radio towers. I'm just looking for coal. I don't see any. I'm going to have to change torch in a moment, which is fine. This should loop round into the big cavern, which then takes us on to the other end of the cave. Let's just throw that down, equip another torch. Once we find the big cave, that's it up ahead. You can see the light shining off the snow. We did leave some loot in here, and I'm hoping, because I can't remember, that we left some skins and guts to cure. Hold on. Oh, there's some coal. Wow, 4 pieces. Not sure we're going to be able to carry it, but we'll try. 5 pieces. That's not the big cave. I thought that was the big cave there. Okay, we'll carry on with this. We could end up wandering in circles for a bit. That might be the big cave. Look at the amount of light up there. Surprising just how much your memory of the cave's layout changes based on how quickly you're able to get round. Oh, we got a deer carcass. Might be able to harvest that for some meat. And certainly an animal skin. Got the dead dude here. We've searched him already, of course. Empty. Empty. Metal. Another lantern. I did leave a pair of climbing socks here last time. They're still at 99%. Good, we'll take them. Worn thermals. We'll take those red gloves. Kind of tempted to take the thermals with us. How are we doing for water? More than enough. We can leave that there. We can barely move right now. I was hoping we'd left a deer skin and guts there to repair our trousers, but we hadn't. Have we harvested this guy? Ravaged deer carcass. We're going to lose that torch. Let's just check what he's got on him. We take his hide, 30 minutes, and his guts is 50 minutes, and his meat, an hour and 4. Let's just do it, because we're going to have to rest up at the other end of the cave before we push on. We're now going to be seriously heavy. We've got to go up there. This is going to be a very slow crawl through to the end of the cave. Luckily, it's not far away. This cavern is much closer to the Marsh Ridge end of the cave than it is to the Hat Creek end. And we should have some sort of campsite set up at this end when we get out of here. And at that point we're going to have to severely rationalize our inventory and decide what we are taking on with us and what we're not. We're also going to be able to, well, we're not hungry enough to feast. I really want to feast and reduce the weight that we're carrying in terms of meat, but I don't think we're going to be able to. As you can see, for this part of the cave, we don't really need the torch. One of the reasons we're travelling so heavy compared to, for example, survivor mode, is because we're carrying the rifle round. We normally would not carry the rifle. Is that a piece of coal? No. But there is a rope there, which we might come back and get for dropping over the edge of the ridge. You can see the exit up there. Just before the exit, where the terrain levels off, is where we normally camp, just next to that piece of snow that you can see on screen below the exit. So I'm hoping we've got a campsite set up here that includes some skins drying and some guts, so that we can get our skin clothing repaired. No, a piece of coal and some sticks is all that we've got here. I don't even see a campfire. Wow. Well, that's the side we normally sleep on. This is the side we normally put the campfire on. So let's get a campfire down, and I'm just gonna, because we're indoors in a sheltered and protected position, I'm just gonna try and light it straight away with a match. And it had to do that, didn't it? Fires have been trolling me the last few weeks. Oh dear. It's seriously trolling me. Let's use an accelerant. We've got 5 of them, and we're trying to lose some of the weight we're carrying. There we go. Right, add sticks. Yeah, might as well take it to 2 hours. There we go. And cook that deer. We are. Right, we need to think about what we're carrying. While that's cooking, let's have a look at our inventory. It's midday. We're going to have a sleep here before we push on. We've got a full kilo of deer meat there. These other 3 pieces are small bits to use as bait. That bit of wolf's down to bait size. Let's just eat some of the weight off this piece. There we are. So we've now got 5 pieces of bait-sized meat in case we need them. We've got a full kilo. Let's just eat into that. Take a drink. All of which helps to reduce the weight. Oh, we should have hammered into those condensed milks, seeing as we're going to sleep. But I'd prefer to use them when we're going to have a full overnight sleep. Right, so cloth, we've got 6 pieces of cloth. Oh, let's drop that wolf skin here. No need to carry that onwards. Come on, drop it. There we go. 1% cured. We've got the extra guts that we're carrying. We've got 2 there at 100%, 2 there at 98%. We'll drop those ones. Really? Oh, we'll leave them like that to cure. That's lost a little bit of weight. We're down to 50.5. We've got a deer skin on us. Just drop the deer skin here. Get it in his over here a bit. There we go. Leave those colon sticks there for the moment. We're going to put the sleeping bag down over here. Come on. You will go and greet. There we are. We'll sleep there. 4 minutes until ready. What else have we got? Right, we want to prep those mushrooms to reduce the weight that we're carrying. It drops the prepped mushrooms weigh roughly 30% of the weight of the raw mushrooms, so we can't cook them unless they're prepped. We might as well prep them and save the carry weight. There we go, that's that done. How many Old Man's Beard patches? We've got 2 Old Man's Beard patches, and we're carrying enough to make 3, so let's get one of those made. And Old Man's Beard is different to the other craftables in that it gets heavier when you craft it, so you want to try and carry it uncrafted as much as possible. Excuse me while I have a slurp of coffee. Right, we've got 6 pieces of cloth, and some of these clothes do need repaired. Those ski pants definitely need repaired, but I want to repair that Cowichan sweater first. And I'm back to 100%. And I'm going to go into our clothing, and I'm going to change to this Cowichan sweater on there. So that we're wearing the 2 of them, and this thick wool sweater is now our spare. If you look at the difference, one of these gives you 2.4 degrees of warmth, 1.9, if we look at that, sorry, 2.5 and 2 of windproofing, 50% waterproofing, 5% protection, but it does reduce your sprint by 2%. The thick wool sweater gives you 1.5 degrees of wind, so it's a full 1.5 degrees of warmth, so it's a full degree less warm. It only gives you 1 degree at 100%, only gives you 1 degree of windproofing, so that's half a degree less. 30% waterproofing, so that's 20% less. 3% protection, that's 2% less, but it only reduces your sprint penalty by 1% instead of 2%. It also only weighs half a kilo instead of a kilo. Now, clothing weighs less when you wear it. than it does when it's in your backpack. So because the Cowichan sweaters weigh a kilo, we're saving more weight by wearing it than we are by carrying it compared to the thick wool sweater. The thick wool sweater gets less actual weight reduction by wearing it, so that's better in the backpack. Right, so the sweaters are done. The socks are fine, although I could do with swapping these over just to get the benefit. That's 93, that's 99. Get the 99% on that. So we're wearing the two 99% socks. The 93% is the spare. That's the combat pants. They weigh 3/4 of a kilo. The snow pants weigh a kilo. But I'm not sure that even repaired up, these are going to be anywhere near as good as the combat pants for warmth. They will be for waterproofing. They're 50% waterproofing. The combats are 20%. But the 7% protection from the combat pants, only 5% from the ski pants. These gloves, if we're going to keep them, we need to repair them. We don't need to keep them because we've got these ones. So I'm kind of tempted to, I'm going to harvest them for cloth. And we've definitely got to repair the snow pants because we want to keep those. We don't have any snow pants anywhere. That's them back to 60%. I'll do another repair on it. We lost that fishing kit, so let's use this sewing kit. Sorry, we lost the first repair kit. Let's use this one. 93%, not quite 100%. I'm not going to use another piece of cloth just for a 7% improvement. But both of these are at 93% now. We can compare their stats. 2.3, 1.9, 50 and 5. 1.8, 0.5, 20 and 7. So the snow pants are both warmer and more windproof and more waterproof, but not as heavy a protection, and they are a much higher sprint penalty because the combat pants are a 0% sprint penalty. So for now, because of the sprint penalty and the fact we're going to have to be moving so much, we're going to keep the snow pants in the backpack, but we may use them when we leave Mystery Lake after completing all of the side quests there and head for Carter Dam. We don't have spare underwear, but these are in good enough condition to leave repairing them until we get back to Mystery Lake. So we'll leave all of them like that. We're still over 50 kilos. Food-wise, we've got to eat stuff basically to reduce weight now. Eat and drink. And currently, well, we can eat a bit and take a drink. Let's just do that. We're going to go for a full night's sleep in a minute actually, so let's not. Let's wait and let's get these low conditioned condensed milks drunk stroke eaten before we sleep, because they're in such low condition. With a safe location like this and a full night's sleep ahead of us, we can drink these before sleep. If we get food poisoning, we can then take some of the antibiotics and sleep it off overnight. So we'll just wait for now. In here, right, that's broken. That we can harvest. Which will reduce weight. This we can only discard. Our knife and hatchet both need a bit of sharpening, so let's just do that. I'm just killing time until it's time to sleep. I want us to be as tired as possible. That's 98%. It's not worth using another 5% of the whetstone to get 2% on the knife. So what we will do though is we'll get 2 sharpens on the axe. You can see 5% improvement. Whetstone is at 75. We take the hatchet from 89% to 94%. The whetstone has dropped 5%. So basically we take 5% off the whetstone to add 5% to the hatchet. Let's give it another one, get it to 99. The sharper it is, the faster it gets wolves off us when we use it as a defense against wolves. The rifle's down to 48%. We really don't want to be using the rifle at all if we can avoid it. The flare pistol's down to 72. Again, we really don't want to be using the flare pistol at that percentage. But it may be the better choice. If we equip the rifle and just do a reload for that single shot so that we know we've got 10 in it, put it away, we're in a safe location, go back to inventory. We're looking for losing weight. We should have lost some of that 50.7 when we harvested those 2 torches. That has not moved. It looks like weights are glitched in the game. We really don't need to carry this torch around, and I should have left it at the other end of the cave. That's my mistake, but it might prove useful if there's an aurora when we're out in the muskeg. We don't need to be carrying 3 torches around. I could leave one of them here, but I think I will, because we've got about 15 of them at the camp office. Oh, that looks like it's gone under there. It has. We can move that around somewhere. Put it there for now. The flare we can leave over here, please. Yeah. That's ruined. We'll just throw that at the back out the way. Campfire's burnt out. Right, let's try and move that deer hide back a bit more over this way. There we are. This bedroll we are going to pick up, unlike the one at the other end of the cave. 49.82. We're still way too heavy. Can't afford to pick anything up if we're travelling at that weight. What I think I'll do is I'll leave that can here. We've got a pot. We can use a pot and a can. This just helps to reinforce that this is one of our camping areas. Make sure we're not carrying any rocks to throw at bunnies. We're not. Never leave ammunition behind. Ammunition is a very rare resource in the game. 4 bits of cloth, 4 bits of leather. Let's just check, because one of our skin clothes, I know that uses a deer hide to repair. That uses a deer hide to repair. Those use a rabbit pelt and a gut. So does that. That uses a wolf pelt and a gut. One of the skin clothings uses leather to repair it. It might be the moose hide satchel that does that. I can't remember. If you know, leave a comment down below. Right, so we are effectively ready for bed. We're just waiting for the clock to get round. It's only just sunset now. We're an hour and a half away from daylight. So probably need to pass time for a few hours. It's past 3 hours. Yeah, let's just pass time for 3 hours. Then it'll be time to sleep. Looks like we've got another aurora. We have. Thank God we're indoors. So let's eat that. No food poisoning, which is good. We're carrying way too many of these, to be honest. That's the one we're currently munching on, isn't it? So no, it's not. That's the one we're currently munching on. Zero 0.3, 0 0.4, 0 0.3, 0 0.4, 0 0.3, 0 0.4. Right. How's that for calories? We're just about as full as we can get. Drink the water. Puts us under 49 kilos. Good. By the time we eat and drink in the morning, we'll be even further down. So let's get a 10-hour sleep. Well, yeah, 9 hour would probably do it. Get us through. Well, we'll go for 10. Make sure it's daylight. It is indeed daylight. It's about an hour after sunrise. Pick up the bedroll. We need to eat and drink. And that's the piece that we're munching. That went down to 0.3 as well, so that's giving us 7 non-gut decoys with a kilo of meat still to go. Take a drink. We've got a couple of sodas on us and 2.3 litres of water, plus some coffees and teas and some reishi and rosehip teas if we need to for a drink. So we're more than set on liquids, we're more than set on foods. We've got a ton of foods in all honesty. 48.61 kilos carried, 13.5 kilos overweight. We've got 2 prepper caches to pick up, so we need to be reducing this weight as quickly as we can. We've probably got another can left over from that condensed milk. We have. Let's just drop that. There we go. And move that, leave it on there. We're not taking these hides or guts with us. We're leaving them here to cure. I seriously doubt we will be back to get them. But if ever we do have a reason to come back here, at least they're here and we'll be able to use them to repair clothing when we get here. In terms of sticks and coal, etc., we've got 13 sticks on us, 2 tinder, 7 coal. So I'm going to quickly convert one of them sticks into tinder. That way we're not carrying 13 sticks, and we've also got 4 tinder. We've got enough matches to get back to the camp office, but if we get the chance to use the magnifying glass we should. Coal, I really don't want to be hauling that coal around, but we might need it. We'll get about an hour and 10 minutes off each piece of coal, so it's enough to get us through the night with a hot fire. And at that point, I'm going to be saying goodbye for this week. Thank you very much for watching. You know what to do. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Leave your comments, questions, observations, queries, etc. down below. Please do leave those. They are very, very important to helping the channel get noticed on the YouTube front page. And I'll see you next Tuesday for another episode of The Long Dark, when we are going to move down into the Muskeg via Birch Forest on Marsh Ridge, this area here. We're going to drop down to the railway and then come out, get this Mystery Lake supply cache, which we're going to have to cross some dodgy ice to get to it. And if we can get the routing right, we will then cut across the islands all the way down to here, bypassing the forge completely, unless by any stroke of luck we get extra recipes such as arrowheads, and then we will head over to this one and back to the camp office to offload before we finish up the bits and pieces around Mystery Lake, prior to going into Carter Dam and ending up episode 2 of Wintermute. So I would guess we've got at least 3, maybe 4 more episodes after this one to finish the Wintermute story mode as far as it is released so far. So join me for those. Love you if you do. And we're not actually there, we're actually over here on this side of the Hat Creek. Probably exactly there, to be honest with you. Let's just one last little check before we go. Make sure we didn't get any extra recipes. We didn't. No. Okay. Just checking we didn't get any by going into that prepper cache at the Aurora hatch. Okay, from me, the Gazbeard. It's never goodbye. It's just bye for now. See you next week.